Let me ask you something. How many times have you told yourself, this Monday I'm starting fresh? Maybe it was the gym, a business idea, a new morning routine, saving money, reading more, building a skill that could actually change your income. And how many of those Mondays became Tuesday, then Wednesday, then nothing? Here's what no one tells you, and this is backed by neuroscience, not motivation culture. You didn't fail because you were weak. You failed because you were using the wrong system entirely. Discipline, as most people understand it, white-knuckling your way through life on willpower alone, goes against the literal biology of your brain. And in the next 20 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why that's true, what the most productive and financially successful people do instead, and how you can rebuild your habits from the ground up, starting today. Stay with me, because this is the video I wish someone had shown me years ago. Here's the brutal truth about your brain. Your brain was not designed for discipline. It was not designed for long-term goals, delayed gratification, or consistent focus. Your brain was designed for one thing: immediate survival. Think about that. For hundreds of thousands of years, your ancestors lived in environments where resources were scarce, predators were real, and the biggest risk wasn't burnout, it was not surviving the weak. So your brain adapted. It learned to conserve energy, to seek fast rewards, to avoid unnecessary effort. Generation after generation, the brain that saved energy and grabbed quick pleasure was the brain that survived. And here's the thing, that same brain is running in your skull right now. When you try to wake up at 5 a.m. to work out, your brain reads that as a threat. It says, "Why are you burning energy? There's no predator. Go back to sleep." When you open your laptop to build your business or study for a certification, your brain immediately suggests you take a quick look at Instagram or YouTube, because dopamine hits faster there. This is not laziness. This is not a character flaw. This is neuroscience. Neuroscientists call it cognitive ease, your brain's built-in preference for the path of least resistance. And the worst part? This happens before your conscious mind even makes a decision. You don't decide to procrastinate. Your brain does. And then it convinces you it was your idea. So when someone tells you to just want it more, to find your why, to hustle harder, they are asking you to override millions of years of evolutionary programming with a pep talk. And that, my friend, is why willpower alone will fail you. Every single time. The real question isn't, how do I get more motivated? The real question is, how do I stop fighting my brain and start working with it? That answer changed everything for me, and it starts with something called design. James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, one of the best-selling books of the last decade, said something that hit me like a truck. Motivation is overrated. Environment often matters more. Read that again. Environment matters more. Not motivation, not mindset, not your morning routine affirmations. Your environment is the architect of your behavior. Here's a real-world example. You decide you want to start working out every morning. You're fired up. You've got the playlist ready. You've watched the YouTube videos. You're ready to transform. But when you wake up, your workout clothes are at the bottom of a drawer. Your sneakers are by the front door, or worse, in your car. It's cold. Your phone is on your nightstand and your notifications are already going off. And that couch? 3 feet from your bed. The decision is no longer between discipline and laziness. The decision is between what's easy and right in front of you, versus what's hidden and requires effort. And your brain, as we just established, will always pick what's easier. This is what behavioral scientists call choice architecture. The idea that where you place things in your environment shapes what you do with your time, often without any conscious thought at all. Here's a wild example from research. In one cafeteria study, scientists simply moved the water bottles to the front of the drink station instead of the back. No campaigns, no signs, no rules. Water consumption went up, soda went down. Nothing changed except the environment. Now think about what that means for your life, for your money habits, for your health, for your focus. Want to read more books instead of scrolling your phone? Put the book on your pillow. Put your phone in another room to charge. Want to stop impulse spending? Delete your saved credit cards from Amazon and your favorite apps. Add friction to the bad habit? Want to start investing? Set up an automatic transfer the day after your paycheck hits. Make the right behavior happen before you even wake up to make a bad decision. Disciplined people don't have more willpower than you. They have better systems. They engineer their environment so the right behavior becomes the path of least resistance. And that's where you need to start. Not with motivation, with design. Okay, so now you understand the two big truths. 1. Your brain is biologically wired to resist effort. 2. Your environment shapes your behavior more than your willpower ever could. But there's still a question on the table. How do you actually build a new habit without it feeling like a battle every single day? The answer is a strategy called habit stacking. Here's the science behind it. Your brain operates on what researchers call habit loops. Every habit has 3 parts: a cue, a routine, and a reward. And here's what most people miss. You already have dozens of these loops running automatically every day. You wake up, you check your phone. Automatic. You sit on the couch, you turn on Netflix. Automatic. You walk into the kitchen, you start the coffee maker. Automatic. These behaviors require zero mental energy because they're already wired. Habit stacking says, instead of building a new habit from scratch, you attach it to an existing one. You use an old cue to trigger a new behavior. You're not fighting the loop, you're hijacking it. Let me give you some examples. After I pour my morning coffee, I spend 5 minutes reviewing my financial goals. After I brush my teeth at night, I read 10 pages of a business or personal development book. After I sit down at my desk, I write the 3 most important tasks for the day before I open email or social media. That's it. Simple, specific, connected. And here's why this is so powerful. The hardest part of any task is starting. The brain burns more energy to initiate an action than to maintain it. Habit stacking eliminates that barrier. You're already in motion from the previous habit, and momentum carries you into the next one. But, and this is critical, there are 3 rules to make habit stacking actually work. Rule 1. Start small. The new habit should take no more than 2 minutes to begin. Not, I'll work out an hour. Start with, I'll put on my workout shoes. That's it, 2 minutes. Rule 2. Be specific. Not, I'll read more. But, after I pour my coffee, I'll read exactly 1 chapter. Vague habits die. Specific habits stick. Rule 3. Zero gap. The new habit has to happen immediately after the old one, not 10 minutes later, right after. The brain needs to wire these 2 behaviors together. These micro-habits feel almost laughably small at first. I get it. But here's what happens. Small stacks become solid routines. Solid routines become your identity, and your identity becomes your results. The person who reads 10 pages a day has read 30 books in a year, while the person waiting for motivation to get in the mood to read read 0. That math is brutal, and it's real. I want to talk about something that carries a lot of shame for a lot of people: procrastination. Most people think procrastination means they're lazy, undisciplined, not cut out for success. That is completely wrong. Procrastination is not a personality flaw. According to behavioral science, procrastination is a symptom. It's a warning sign that your system is poorly designed, not that you are broken. Think about it this way. When you avoid a task, your brain isn't being defiant. It's doing exactly what it's programmed to do. Avoid pain, seek pleasure. Now. Studying for a certification? Pain. Abstract. The reward, a better job, more income, is weeks or months away. Scrolling TikTok? Pleasure. Immediate. Dopamine hit in 3 seconds. No effort required. For your brain, there is no competition. It doesn't weigh your long-term goals against short-term pleasures. It just runs the math on right now. So James Clear developed what he calls the 4 laws of behavior change, a framework that makes good habits easy and bad habits hard. Here they are. Law 1. Make it obvious. Your brain acts on what it sees. If your goals are hidden, in a note on your phone, in a journal under your bed, somewhere you never look, they will die there. Put your goals somewhere visible. Write them on a whiteboard. Set them as your phone lock screen. Make the cue for your good habit impossible to miss. Law 2. Make it attractive. We do what we want to do, so pair your habit with something you already enjoy. Only listen to your favorite podcast while you're at the gym. Only watch your favorite show after you've hit your daily work target. Create anticipation for the habit. Law 3. Make it easy. Friction kills habits. If there are too many steps between you and the behavior, you won't do it. Cut the steps. Reduce the effort. If you want to journal, leave the journal open on your desk with a pen on top, not capped in a drawer. Make the right behavior require less energy than the wrong one. Law 4. Make it satisfying. Your brain learns through reward. If a behavior feels good immediately after you do it, you're more likely to repeat it. Track your habits. Check a box. Give yourself a small reward. Celebrate the win, no matter how small it feels. Now let's see what this looks like in the real world. Imagine you want to study 30 minutes every evening to build a new income skill. Old setup. Books buried in your bag. Desk covered in clutter. No clear stopping point. No reward at the end. You're just hoping tonight you'll feel like it. New setup. Book open on a clean desk before you even sit down. Phone in another room. Favorite tea or coffee ready. You commit to just 5 minutes to start. At the end, you mark an X on a habit tracker and watch an episode of something you love. Same goal, completely different outcome. The difference isn't your character, it's your design. I want to dismantle one more myth before we get to the final piece. And this one is everywhere in American productivity culture. The idea that you need to love the process, that you need to find your passion, that if discipline feels hard, it means you're not meant for it. That is not how highly successful people operate. The most consistent, highest earning, most productive people I've studied and read about, they don't wake up every morning excited to do the hard thing. They wake up, and they do it anyway. Not because of willpower, not because they love the grind, because they built systems that work even on the days they don't feel like it. Imagine someone who wants to run every morning. They have great reasons: health, mental clarity, weight loss, energy. But on most mornings, they won't feel like running. It'll be early. It'll be cold or hot. The bed will feel incredible. Now imagine they set it up like this. The night before, workout clothes on the floor next to the bed, shoes ready, pre-workout or water bottle on the counter, running playlist queued up, a friend waiting at the corner at 6:30 a.m. Running didn't get easier. The decision was already made. The night before, when they were rational and motivated, not at 6 a.m. when their brain is begging for 20 more minutes of sleep. That is the game. Make the decision before the desire disappears. James Clear puts it perfectly. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Let that land. Your income won't grow to the level of your dreams. It will grow to the level of your daily habits and systems. Your health won't reach your vision board. It will reflect your daily defaults. So stop waiting to feel motivated. Stop waiting for the right time. Stop punishing yourself for not being perfect. Build the system and let the system carry you. We've talked about brain biology, environment design, habit stacking, the 4 laws of behavior change, systems over motivation. But I want to take this one level deeper because this is the piece that makes everything else permanent. Real transformation doesn't come from changing what you do. It comes from changing who you believe you are. James Clear calls this identity-based habit change. And here's the core idea. Most people start with the outcome: lose 30 pounds, make 6 figures, build a business. Then they focus on the process. What's the diet? What's the side hustle? What's the morning routine? But the people who actually stick with it, they start with identity. Instead of saying, I want to get fit, they say, I am someone who takes care of their body. Instead of, I want to save money, they say, I am someone who is intentional with wealth. Instead of, I want to read more, they say, I am a learner. That's just who I am. And then every small action becomes a vote for that identity. Every time you go for a walk instead of sitting on the couch, that's a vote. Every time you put $50 in your investment account instead of blowing it, that's a vote. Every time you open the book instead of the app, that's a vote. You are not just building a habit. You are casting ballots for the person you are becoming. And here's why this matters so much. When identity shifts, behavior follows naturally. You don't have to force a disciplined person to be disciplined. They just are, because discipline is built into how they see themselves. That's your target. Not a perfect week, not a 90-day challenge, a new identity. So let me bring this all together. Your brain is not broken. It's ancient. It was built for survival, not productivity. Your environment shapes your behavior more than your motivation ever will. The most consistent people don't rely on willpower. They build systems that make the right behavior automatic. Procrastination is not a character flaw. It's a design problem, and it's fixable. You don't need to love discipline, you just need to make it inevitable. And above all, real change begins when you stop trying to act differently and start deciding to be someone different. So here's my question for you. What is the one habit you've been putting off? The one that, if you actually built it, would change your finances, your health, or your life in the next 12 months? Drop it in the comments below. Be specific. Because the moment you write it down, that is already a vote for your new identity. And if this video shifted how you think about discipline and success, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Because every week on this channel, we go deep into the psychology of wealth, success, and the mindset that separates people who stay stuck from people who actually break through. I'll see you in the next one. Keep building.